This is Kathleen Provancher, and today I'm going to talk about where I live, and obviously it's my favorite community if I live there. My favorite community is Castaway Cove, and why it's my favorite community is the wide beach. I also bought in Castaway Cove, not only because of the wide beach, but its accessibility to downtown 32963. You're right in the middle of the action in 32963, and you have a private deeded beach access in wave 3 and wave 6 and wave 1. And you have the access on the other side of A1A, wave 2 and wave 4 and wave 5 to the Indian River. They have parks that you can go to. They have a park that you can go to in wave 4 and wave 5 with a nice path. You can put a kayak in over there. So it's a really great way to live. And you can walk across the street and go to wave 3 and wave 6 and go to the private deeded beach access. There's 2 beach accesses in wave 3 and wave 6. And once you see, there's one over the corner. A lot of people that are even realtors don't even know about that. But there's one at the north access to wave 3 and wave 6 that is a little walking path. And then there's the main beach access that is in wave 3 and wave 6. That is on Castaway Boulevard. And on the other side, that's just a little to the south of us, there's a beach access Castaway Wave 1. That is a nice little, it's a nice meandering little path that goes up to your deeded beach access. Some of the lots are a little bit bigger than you would see in Central Beach. It has a family vibe in there. I can't say that in the MLS, but it's true. There's a nice family vibe in there. I say it's a nice mix of the 55 and up crowd and a nice mix of the people that have the families. It was funny when we went to go look at our first house, because we've had 2 homes actually in Castaway Cove. We lived in wave 4 and wave 5 originally. We moved across the street to wave 3 and wave 6. When we first moved there, this is the epitome of why I live in Castaway Cove. We went to go look at the house in where we live currently, and my daughter Ella at the time was little, and the neighborhood girl came over and said, "Do you want to go see my dollhouse?" And I was like, okay, sold, like the house is sold. They went over and they looked at the dollhouse, and Todd and I just went over and looked at the house. And let me tell you, that's what sold it. And the mom said this to me. She said, buying in Castaway Cove is like buying a home in the 50s, where you can open up your door and your child can walk across the street to the neighbor's house, and you don't have to worry about the safety of your child. They're all gated neighborhoods as well. So you get the feeling that the kids can go down to the beach, they can ride around on their bike, and they're going to be safe. They can go down to the 7-Eleven and get an icy, and they'll be safe. Your kids are going to be safe. So it's a peace of mind for the parents, for their children to live there. On the same note, everyone that lives there and enjoys the laid back lifestyle. And it is, I've heard this saying quite a few times, it is a barefoot luxury. Like you feel like this is an elite neighborhood, this is a luxury neighborhood, but it's not a pretentious vibe. It's a laid back beach kid, dog friendly. That's another thing. Sometimes I get people that ask me, where's a dog friendly neighborhood? Castaway Cove is the epitome of the dog friendly neighborhood. Every single one of our neighbors has a dog. I don't think there's anyone that lives by me that doesn't even have a dog. I make homemade dog treats for everyone all the time. It's kind of funny. We are a very dog-centric neighborhood. The other thing that a lot of people, even in Vero Beach, people that were raised in Vero Beach, they don't know about, I get asked about our erosion all the time. Some of the beaches in Florida are eroding. Well, the opposite of eroding is an accreting beach. And sometimes I write in the MLS on a wide accreting beach, and people are like, what the heck is that? An accreting beach means that when we get a storm in a lot of different areas, it takes from the beach and the sand from other areas, and it deposits that sand in a storm to the Castaway Cove beach. And that is Mother Nature's way of protecting those oceanfront homes there, which is very valuable for the oceanfront homeowners that are in Castaway Cove. That long dune line protects your home every time we have a storm or a hurricane. It makes those houses there a little bit safer than if it was a narrow dune line. It looks like a beach to me in California. We have a very long dune there. Our dune line protects the homes, And it gives you a feeling of a very wide beach. And that is just something that is specific to Castaway Cove in 32963. We have the widest beach. And somebody's going to say, no, this one's like 2 meters. No, it's not. I don't think it is. But anyway, it's a very wide beach. So it gives you the feeling like, you're in California. It doesn't give you that Florida vibe. The guarded gates. Let's talk a little bit about the guarded gates in Castaway Cove. Okay, so wave 4 and wave 5 have a 24-hour gate that is guarded. There's an actual person standing there. And also right across, and that's the one that's on the river. And wave 3 and wave 6, they also have an individual person that is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that makes the dues, your homeowners association dues that you pay every month or yearly, that makes those dues a little bit higher than if you have just the arm, the gate. Wave 1 and wave 2 have the arm. So their dues are a little bit less than the one that actually they pay for the 24-hour security. But nonetheless, all of the individual waves in Castaway Cove do have a gated community. And it is, it makes me feel a little bit safer, which that was another thing that attracted us with being a young family. A really great way to raise your kids. It's what brought me to Florida in the first place, is just having my children being raised around the water, whether it's the ocean or whether it's the river. The kids going down to the beach for the day with a surfboard and surfing in the ocean, or the boys constantly, Edwin's best friend lives on the river and he's got a boat, and the boys go out on a nightly basis after school. And all of a sudden, Edwin's like, I'm going over to Charlie's house and going fishing. Let me tell you, you don't have to worry about the boys. The boys know how to boat. They've been raised boating, and they go over there and they just go fishing. And it's just such a great way for your children to be raised, to have them boating on a daily basis and going down and being able to boogie board or surf on a daily basis at the ocean. And in Castaway Cove, you have both of those environments in one neighborhood. There's no better person to find a home for you in Castaway Cove than someone that is one of the top realtors in Vero Beach, and that I already live there. I have a lot of pocket listings there. I know who's planning on moving. If you're planning on moving, call me. I'll add you to my pocket listing list. And I know what people are looking for in Castaway Cove. And I know the parents that are coming there from St. Edwards that they're planning on, looking for a home in Castaway Cove. So I can make that fit for you without your home being listed on the MLS, which is a really big perk because you don't want people coming in and out of your homes and showing your home unless you absolutely have to. And Castaway Cove is very, very sought after. That being said, if you want to list your home, please reach out to me directly. Or if you would like to buy a home in Castaway Cove, let me know what you guys are looking for and I'll add you to my list because I have a long list of off-market properties in there. For more videos on Vero Beach and Vero Beach luxury real estate, like and subscribe for more information. We have more videos coming out all the time and we'd love for you to follow us.